Hello, my respected gentlemen. What if I told you that nearly everything you've been taught about masturbation and prostate health is completely wrong? That the guilt, shame, and confusion surrounding this natural human behavior has been based on decades of medical myths and cultural taboos that have no scientific foundation whatsoever? You might be shocked to learn that many of the warnings you've heard about masturbation causing weakness, blindness, or prostate problems are not just false, but the complete opposite of what modern medical science has actually discovered. According to recent research from Harvard Medical School and the American Urological Association, regular ejaculation may actually protect your prostate and reduce your risk of cancer by up to 33%. But here's what's truly disturbing. Millions of men are living with unnecessary anxiety, guilt, and health fears because they've been fed misinformation about one of the most natural human behaviors. And today I, Dr. James Whittaker, will systematically destroy these harmful myths with hard scientific evidence and reveal the shocking truth about what really affects your prostate health. Especially don't leave this video early because I'm going to expose the most dangerous myth that's causing men to make choices that actually increase their risk of prostate problems. Before we dive into these life-changing revelations, let me connect with you. Where are you watching this video from? Leave your location in the comments below. I'm excited to know who's joining me on this journey to separate medical fact from fiction. So what are we waiting for? Let's immediately debunk the biggest lies you've been told about masturbation and discover what the latest medical research really says about protecting your prostate health. Many men today still carry guilt and fear about masturbation because of myths that were created over 200 years ago by doctors who had no understanding of human sexuality or prostate function. These myths weren't based on scientific research, but on religious and cultural beliefs that were later disguised as medical advice. The most persistent myths about masturbation causing weakness, mental illness, blindness, or prostate problems originated in the 1700s and 1800s, when doctors believed that men had a limited supply of vital energy that would be depleted through ejaculation. They thought that wasting this energy would lead to physical and mental deterioration. This couldn't be more wrong. Modern medical science has proven that the male body produces millions of new sperm every day, and regular ejaculation is actually a sign of a healthy, functioning reproductive system. The idea that you can waste or deplete your masculine energy through masturbation has no basis in human biology. What's even more shocking is how these 200-year-old myths continue to influence men's health beliefs today. Despite decades of scientific research proving these ideas false, many men still worry that masturbation will make them weak, cause prostate problems, or somehow damage their masculine vitality. The truth is exactly the opposite. Men who ejaculate regularly, whether through masturbation or sexual activity, have been shown to have healthier prostates, better immune function, and lower rates of anxiety and depression compared to men who suppress their natural sexual urges. Your prostate is a gland that produces fluid for ejaculation, and like any organ in your body, it functions best when used regularly. Think of it like a muscle that stays strong through regular exercise, or like a pipe that stays clear through regular flow. Stagnation, not activity, is what causes problems. The medical establishment has been slow to correct these myths because discussing masturbation openly makes many doctors uncomfortable. But the research is clear and overwhelming. Regular ejaculation is not just harmless, it's actually beneficial for prostate health and overall masculine wellness. Understanding this fundamental truth changes everything about how you should approach your sexual health. Instead of fighting against your natural urges, you should embrace them as part of maintaining optimal prostate function. My dear friend, if you're still watching this video until now, I'm very glad because it shows you're ready to learn the truth about your health. Please leave the number 1 in the comments below so I know you're still with me on this important journey. The most groundbreaking research on masturbation and prostate health came from Harvard Medical School, where researchers followed over 29,000 men for nearly 2 decades to understand the relationship between ejaculation frequency and prostate cancer risk. What they discovered completely shattered the old myths and revealed shocking truths about protecting your prostate. Men who ejaculated 21 or more times per month had a 33% lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to men who ejaculated 4 to 7 times per month. This wasn't a small study with questionable results. This was nearly 30,000 men followed for 18 years, making it one of the largest and most comprehensive studies on male sexual health ever conducted. The researchers found that it didn't matter whether ejaculation occurred through masturbation, sexual intercourse, or nocturnal emissions. The protective effect was the same regardless of the method. This proves that the benefit comes from the act of ejaculation itself, not from any particular type of sexual activity. But here's what makes this research even more powerful. The protective effects were strongest in younger men, suggesting that regular ejaculation throughout a man's life provides cumulative protection against prostate problems. Men who maintained higher ejaculation frequencies from their 20s onward had the lowest cancer rates decades later. The mechanism behind this protection involves the regular flushing of potentially harmful substances from the prostate gland. When you ejaculate, you're essentially cleaning out your prostate, preventing the buildup of toxins, bacteria, and cellular debris that can contribute to inflammation and cancer development. Think of your prostate like a filter in your car. If you never change the filter, it becomes clogged with contaminants and stops working properly. But if you regularly clean or replace it, your engine runs smoothly for years. Regular ejaculation serves the same function for your prostate, keeping it clean and healthy. This research has been replicated and confirmed by multiple studies from institutions around the world, including the Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins, and the European Association of Urology. The scientific consensus is clear. Regular ejaculation protects prostate health. Yet many men are still operating under the old myths that tell them the opposite. They're avoiding masturbation out of fear that it will harm their prostate, when scientific evidence proves it actually protects them from the very problems they're trying to prevent. The Harvard researchers also found that men who suddenly decreased their ejaculation frequency had increased prostate cancer risk, suggesting that consistency is important. Your prostate benefits from regular, ongoing activity, not sporadic periods of activity followed by abstinence. This completely destroys the myth that men should save their ejaculations or that frequent masturbation weakens the prostate. The evidence shows exactly the opposite is true. One of the most persistent and damaging myths about masturbation is that it somehow depletes your vital energy, makes you weak, or reduces your masculine power. This myth has caused countless men to suppress their natural urges and develop unhealthy relationships with their own sexuality. The truth is that masturbation and ejaculation have minimal impact on your physical energy levels. The act of masturbation burns approximately the same number of calories as walking up 2 flights of stairs. The idea that it leaves you weak or depleted is purely psychological and has no basis in human physiology. Your body produces approximately 300 million new sperm every single day. The average ejaculation contains about 200 to 500 million sperm, which represents less than 2 days of production. Your body can easily replace everything lost through ejaculation without any negative impact on your health, energy, or vitality. In fact, research shows that men who masturbate regularly often have higher energy levels, better mood, improved sleep quality, and reduced stress compared to men who abstain completely. This is because sexual release triggers the production of endorphins, reduces cortisol levels, and promotes relaxation. The temporary fatigue some men experience after ejaculation is caused by the release of prolactin, a hormone that promotes sleep and relaxation. This is a normal, healthy response that helps your body recover and recharge. It's not a sign of energy depletion, but rather your body's natural way of promoting rest and recovery. Many men confuse this natural relaxation response with weakness or energy loss, but it's actually evidence that your body is functioning exactly as it should. The same hormone response occurs after sexual intercourse, and no one considers that unhealthy or depleting. The psychological component of the energy depletion myth is often more powerful than any physical effects. Men who believe masturbation makes them weak will often feel weak after masturbating, not because of any physiological changes, but because of their psychological expectations. This is why education and myth-busting are so important. Once you understand that masturbation is a normal, healthy activity that doesn't deplete your energy or weaken your body, you can enjoy the actual benefits without the psychological burden of guilt and fear. Athletes, including professional sports players and Olympic competitors, often masturbate regularly without any negative impact on their performance. In fact, many report that sexual release helps them sleep better, manage stress, and maintain psychological balance during intense training and competition. The energy depletion myth has probably caused more unnecessary suffering and sexual dysfunction than any other piece of misinformation about male sexuality. It's time to abandon this harmful myth and embrace the scientific truth about masturbation and energy levels. If you're still watching this video up to this point, thank you for your commitment to learning the truth about your health. Please leave the number 3 in the comments below, so I know I'm not speaking to myself here. Here's a shocking truth that most men never learn. Complete abstinence from ejaculation can actually increase your risk of prostate inflammation and related problems. This flies in the face of everything many men have been taught about sexual restraint being beneficial for health. The prostate gland continuously produces prostatic fluid, which is a major component of semen. When this fluid isn't regularly expelled through ejaculation, it can become stagnant and concentrated, creating an environment where bacteria can multiply and inflammation can develop. Medical research has identified a condition called chronic pelvic pain syndrome, which affects millions of men and is often linked to infrequent ejaculation. Men with this condition experience pain, discomfort, and urinary problems that can significantly impact their quality of life. Studies show that increasing ejaculation frequency often provides significant relief from these symptoms. Think of prostatic fluid like water in a pond. When water flows regularly, it stays fresh and clean. But when water sits stagnant for long periods, it becomes a breeding ground for bacteria and other harmful microorganisms. The same principle applies to prostatic fluid. Urologists have observed that men who go through periods of sexual abstinence often develop what's called prostatitis, inflammation of the prostate gland. This condition causes pain, difficulty urinating, and can significantly impact sexual function. The first-line treatment is often to increase ejaculation frequency to help flush out the inflamed gland. This medical evidence directly contradicts the old myths that told men abstinence was beneficial for prostate health. In reality, regular ejaculation helps maintain healthy prostate function by preventing the stagnation and buildup that can lead to inflammation and infection. The immune benefits of regular ejaculation also play a role in prostate health. Sexual activity and masturbation have been shown to boost immune function, increase white blood cell activity, and improve the body's ability to fight off infections and abnormal cell growth. Men who maintain regular ejaculation frequencies have lower rates of prostate enlargement, fewer urinary problems, and better overall prostate function as they age. This is because regular activity helps maintain healthy blood flow to the prostate and prevents the tissue changes that can occur with prolonged inactivity. The psychological stress of sexual suppression can also contribute to prostate problems. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, suppresses immune function, and creates systemic inflammation that can affect prostate health. Men who are comfortable with their sexuality and don't suppress natural urges typically have lower stress levels and better overall health. Some religious and cultural traditions promote sexual abstinence as spiritually beneficial, but from a purely medical standpoint, complete abstinence from ejaculation can increase health risks rather than provide benefits. The key is finding a balance that respects both personal beliefs and biological needs. Another persistent myth claims that masturbation significantly reduces testosterone levels and impacts masculine hormone function. This myth has caused many men to avoid masturbation, thinking they're protecting their testosterone, when the scientific reality is far more complex and generally reassuring. Short-term studies show that testosterone levels may temporarily decrease immediately after ejaculation, but they return to normal within 24 to 48 hours. This temporary fluctuation is completely normal and doesn't impact overall testosterone production or masculine health. It's similar to how your blood sugar temporarily drops after exercise, but returns to normal with rest and nutrition. More importantly, long-term studies show no significant difference in baseline testosterone levels between men who masturbate regularly and those who abstain. Your body's testosterone production is primarily controlled by genetic factors, age, overall health, sleep quality, and nutrition, not by masturbation frequency. In fact, some research suggests that men who maintain regular sexual activity, including masturbation, may have healthier hormone profiles overall. This is because sexual activity stimulates the entire hormonal cascade involved in masculine function, keeping these systems active and responsive. The myth about masturbation reducing testosterone probably originated from the temporary post-ejaculation decrease that researchers observed in early studies. But these researchers failed to follow up long enough to see that levels quickly returned to normal. This incomplete understanding led to incorrect conclusions that persisted for decades. What actually impacts testosterone levels significantly? Poor sleep, chronic stress, obesity, lack of exercise, excessive alcohol consumption, and certain medications. Masturbation frequency has minimal impact compared to these lifestyle factors. Men who are concerned about testosterone levels would be better served focusing on getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep, maintaining a healthy weight, exercising regularly, and managing stress, not worrying about masturbation frequency. The psychological benefits of healthy sexual expression may actually support testosterone production indirectly. Men who are sexually satisfied and free from sexual anxiety often have better overall health, lower stress levels, and more stable hormone function. Competitive athletes provide excellent real-world evidence about masturbation and testosterone. Many professional athletes masturbate regularly without any negative impact on their performance, strength, or competitive success. If masturbation significantly reduced testosterone or athletic performance, this would be immediately apparent in competitive sports. The testosterone myth has probably caused more sexual anxiety and dysfunction than any actual impact masturbation might have on hormone levels. Men who worry constantly about their testosterone levels often develop performance anxiety that actually interferes with sexual function more than any hormonal changes. One of the most common questions men ask is about optimal masturbation frequency for prostate health. The scientific evidence provides clear guidance based on large-scale studies and medical research, but individual factors also play important roles. The Harvard study that followed nearly 30,000 men found maximum prostate protection at 21 or more ejaculations per month, which equals about once every 1.5 days. However, this doesn't mean every man needs to achieve exactly this frequency. The study showed protective benefits starting at much lower frequencies. Men who ejaculated 8 to 12 times per month had significantly better prostate health than those who ejaculated fewer than 4 times monthly. This suggests that even moderate increases in ejaculation frequency provide meaningful health benefits. The key finding is that more frequent ejaculation is consistently associated with better prostate health. Individual factors that influence optimal frequency include age, overall health, relationship status, and personal comfort levels. Younger men typically have higher natural sexual urges and may benefit from more frequent ejaculation, while older men might find a lower frequency more comfortable and sustainable. The important principle is regularity rather than achieving any specific number. Men who maintain consistent ejaculation patterns, whether 2 to 3 times per week or once daily, tend to have better prostate health than those with highly irregular patterns or long periods of complete abstinence. Quality matters as much as quantity. Rushed masturbation focused solely on quick release may not provide the same benefits as more relaxed sexual activity that includes adequate arousal and satisfaction. The full sexual response cycle appears to provide more comprehensive health benefits. Listen to your body's natural signals rather than forcing yourself to meet arbitrary targets. Most healthy men have natural sexual urges that, when followed without guilt or suppression, tend to align well with frequencies that promote prostate health. Age-related changes in sexual desire and function are normal and don't necessarily require intervention. A 70-year-old man who naturally desires sexual activity twice weekly is likely meeting his biological needs just as well as a 25-year-old who desires daily activity. The key is avoiding extremes. Very infrequent ejaculation, less than once weekly, may not provide optimal prostate protection, while compulsive daily masturbation could potentially cause physical irritation or interfere with other life activities. Most men naturally find a healthy middle ground when freed from guilt and misinformation. Medical supervision isn't necessary for healthy men to determine appropriate masturbation frequency. Your body's natural urges, combined with common sense about avoiding extremes, provide excellent guidance for maintaining optimal prostate health through regular sexual activity. Many men have legitimate concerns about potential negative effects of masturbation, and addressing these honestly helps separate real issues from myth-based fears. Understanding what's normal versus what might indicate a problem helps men make informed decisions about their sexual health. Physical irritation or soreness can occur with excessive masturbation or aggressive technique, but this is easily preventable with proper lubrication and gentler methods. This type of irritation is temporary and doesn't indicate any serious health problems. It's similar to soreness from any repetitive physical activity. Some men worry about reduced sensitivity from masturbation, but research shows no evidence that normal masturbation frequency causes permanent sensitivity changes. Temporary reduced sensitivity can occur immediately after ejaculation due to the normal refractory period, but this is a healthy protective mechanism that prevents overstimulation. Psychological concerns about masturbation addiction or compulsive behavior affect some men, but true sexual compulsion is relatively rare and involves behavior that significantly interferes with daily life, relationships, or responsibilities. Normal, healthy masturbation doesn't create addiction or compulsive patterns. Men in relationships sometimes worry that masturbation indicates problems with their partnership or might reduce their interest in partner sex. Research shows that men who masturbate regularly often have more satisfying sexual relationships, not less. Masturbation and partner sex fulfill different needs and complement rather than compete with each other. Some men experience guilt or shame after masturbation due to cultural or religious conditioning, but these feelings aren't based on health concerns. Working through these psychological barriers often improves overall sexual satisfaction and mental health. Timing concerns about masturbation affecting athletic performance or energy levels are generally unfounded. The brief fatigue that follows ejaculation dissipates within hours and doesn't impact physical performance or cognitive function for most men. The most important distinction is between masturbation as a normal, healthy activity and masturbation as a way to cope with stress, anxiety, or other psychological issues. Using masturbation as the primary stress management tool might indicate need for developing additional coping strategies. But this doesn't make masturbation itself unhealthy. Men who experience persistent pain, unusual discharge, or other physical symptoms should consult healthcare providers to rule out underlying medical issues. However, these symptoms are rarely caused by masturbation itself and more often indicate infections or other treatable conditions. Understanding the difference between temporary normal responses and genuine health concerns helps men enjoy the proven benefits of regular ejaculation without unnecessary worry about imaginary risks. The ultimate goal isn't just debunking myths about masturbation and prostate health, but helping men develop healthy, positive relationships with their sexuality that support overall well-being and life satisfaction. Healthy sexuality involves understanding your body's natural responses, accepting normal sexual urges without guilt or shame, and making informed decisions based on scientific evidence rather than cultural myths. This foundation supports both physical health and psychological well-being. Communication with healthcare providers about sexual health becomes easier when you understand the medical facts. Most doctors are comfortable discussing masturbation and sexual function when approached from a health perspective rather than moral or cultural angles. For men in relationships, open communication about sexual needs, including masturbation, often strengthens partnerships rather than creating problems. Partners who understand that masturbation is normal and healthy are typically more supportive and less threatened by the behavior. Balancing masturbation with other aspects of life prevents it from becoming either suppressed due to guilt or excessive due to boredom or stress. Like any aspect of health, moderation and awareness are key to maintaining healthy patterns. Age-related changes in sexual function are normal and don't require dramatic interventions. Men who maintain regular sexual activity, including masturbation, often adapt better to these changes and maintain sexual satisfaction longer than those who become sexually inactive. The psychological benefits of healthy sexuality extend beyond physical health. Men who are comfortable with their sexuality typically have better self-esteem, lower anxiety levels, and more satisfying relationships overall. Education and myth-busting remain important throughout life as new misinformation constantly emerges. Staying informed about sexual health research helps men make decisions based on current scientific understanding rather than outdated cultural beliefs. My dear gentlemen, today we have destroyed dangerous myths that have caused unnecessary guilt, anxiety, and health problems for millions of men. We've learned that masturbation isn't just harmless, it's actually protective for prostate health, with men who ejaculate regularly having up to 33% lower cancer risk. We've seen that the fears about energy depletion, testosterone reduction, and physical weakness have no scientific basis. Instead, regular ejaculation supports prostate function, reduces inflammation, and contributes to overall masculine health and well-being. The key message I want you to remember is this: your body's natural sexual urges exist for good biological reasons. Instead of fighting against these urges or feeling guilty about normal human behavior, embrace the scientific truth that regular ejaculation protects your prostate and supports your health. The choice is yours. You can continue carrying unnecessary guilt and fear based on 200-year-old myths, or you can base your decisions on modern medical research and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from understanding the truth about your body and sexuality. If you found this myth-busting information helpful, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos where I'll continue separating medical fact from fiction. Your health and well-being deserve information based on science, not superstition. Thank you for joining me on this important journey to understand the truth about masturbation and prostate health. I wish you confidence, health, and freedom from the myths that have held too many men back for too long.